Hi everybody, and welcome to the Phillips-Medisize stand at pharmapack here in Paris. I'm Tony Bedford, I'm Director of Front-End Innovation, and I'd like to talk to you about something very specific that we've been doing within our team. But just before I do that, let me remind you that we are an end-to-end provider of innovation, development and manufacturing to the medical device industry. This is the innovation that I'm going to talk about in just a moment, and in front of me I have a few other examples of the types of platform technology in drug delivery that we've been developing through a reconstitution device, which is electromechanical, a reusable auto-injector designed to work with interesting needle safety technologies, working on large volume injection, and then there's a device that I suppose you could argue started it all for us a few years ago, the Bayer Better Connect reusable auto-injector for multiple sclerosis patients. Just moving across here a little bit, we have our mini tablet dispenser, which automatically counts and dispenses an appropriate number of tablets. And then finally, our smart reusable auto-injector, which is a really exciting innovation, which we think is groundbreaking and potentially disruptive to the industry. So I'll give you a short demonstration of this, and just as I'm switching that on and ready to go, I'll just tell you about why we've been doing this device and how it needs to be embodied in order to be successful in the market. So we're going up against single-use disposable auto-injectors. So we know our device needs to be simple, easy to use, intuitive. It has to have performance characteristics that are right for the pharmaceutical industry. There are environmental issues at play here that we think we've embraced well. And finally, it's got to be connectivity ready. And that's a really interesting space that's developing in this industry too. A little bit about the technology behind the device. It can deliver up to 100 newtons of force at the plunger rod, and it can deliver a full dose. Very interesting technology to ensure that everything is evacuated from the primary container, and we can give potentially hundreds of injections from this one device. It uses a standard pre-filled syringe, and that's very, very important for this particular industry, which is not particularly happy moving away towards non-standard primary containers. We know that that's a big issue, and we've embraced that very well, we think. So ultimately, when we add all of these things together, we've got something that gives us potentially up to 50% less waste. That can be through transport, that can be through disposable element, that can be through storage as well. So let me give you a little bit of a demonstration of this now. So just like any disposable auto-injector or any other auto-injector, I remove the cap, press against the skin, and hopefully you can see the plunger rod moving inside. And in just a second, we'll get a little signal to say that that dose has been delivered. So I can release from the skin, and this is now completely needle safe, mandatory in this industry, of course. So as you can see, it's simple to use. It can be as simple or as sophisticated in terms of user interface as you need it to be. There are elements of customization behind this, obviously. So why have we done this? There's the two parts being taken apart for our disposable element. Well, we know that in this industry right now, injectable biologics dominate very heavily, and they're being delivered from pre-filled syringes with staked needles. Very important that we incorporate that within this disposable element of the device. So we're not changing the primary container at all. This is what the industry accepts and knows and loves. So no change, very easy for your drug to go into this device. We also know that the single-use device right now is a de facto. And if I look around the halls here today, we've got some of the companies out there with their products. They're really good. We're not going out there to say, don't use these products because there's a problem with them. We're going out there to say, there's an alternative that's even better than something that's great already. But there are some limitations. Let's start with the environmental element of that. So a single-use disposable does exactly what we've just said. It's used once, it's disposed of. That's the end of that. So there's a waste issue here. There's actually a distinctive challenge with buying something off the shelf as well. So there's a balance between the spring, which drives the drug expulsion, the viscosity of the drug, and the time for the injection as well. So those things need to be very carefully tied up to ensure that your product is doing exactly what it should be doing in the right way. And finally, it's not cost effective to add connectivity to an existing single-use disposable device. So this addresses all of those challenges. There's less waste, there's less storage requirements, there's much less transportation requirements. All of those things add up to an environmental benefit. Bluetooth is included within this electronic control system that we have already. So we have something that wraps up all of those limitations neatly into a nice package. We think we're quite well qualified to talk about the limitations of these devices as well. And of course, reusables have been around for a while. We developed one. We were the first to get an FDA-approved connected drug delivery system on the market. But it's big, it's complex, it's expensive. Our smart reusable auto-injector is small. It's not expensive, but it's sophisticated. If you'd like to learn some more, come and see us at pharmapack. We're here right through to the end of tomorrow. Or visit the website, give us a call, email us. We'd love to talk to you some more.